Hey everybody, and welcome back to the second part of the live stream that we were doing last night. For anybody who wants to come in, we will jump straight into it. I'm not going to mess around because we have new people here who have a lot to say about said pineapple, and if you don't know what pineapple is, go back and watch the live stream from last night and you will be right across everything. But I'm just going to jump straight through to it. So, hey, wrong button.
That works. That's all right.
Oh, we'll go with that one anyway, and then I will edit it to this one. Hey guys, how is everybody? So it looks like Jay's actually gone to sleep. Oh no, he's there. So we have Jay.
I'm just listening, guys.
Yeah, we have Jay in the bottom left. We have Jax from last night and John, her partner, and we're gonna jump straight into it again. So, Jax, John, do you want to fill us in on where you are at the moment? Because before we got recording, some very weird stuff already happened. So we're hoping we're going to catch some more on footage as we go. But if you want to fill us in, and then between you and John, you can start, and then we will jump to Jay because there's still a lot of information about said pineapple that we do need to get out there. So I'll jump straight over to you, Jax.
Hey, good morning. We are live from one of our client locations. Pretty serious background. Property dates back early 1800s. Potential slave property. A whole mixture of things we got going on here. And you know, as you said, we were sitting here setting up, and what looked like cat balls illuminating the whole car behind us, you know, we saw it only through your camera, but we have nothing going in the car. So that was pretty wild. I don't know what the hell that was. But yeah, we're pretty pumped to come back and talk about our pineapple in question. And yeah, so I don't even know where to begin because, you know, when we talked yesterday, I felt like I talked everybody's ear off. So I think I'll let John take most of this. But I'll just give you a quick brief overview of what we discussed yesterday, which was, you know, I met Pineapple earlier last year, but didn't have much communication until our show announcement dropped. And then suddenly Pineapple came out of the woodwork, wanting to be partners and part of the show and all that good stuff. And next thing you know, when I didn't give him what he wanted, he personally attacked me. Contacted locations, attempted to tarnish my reputation and relationship with these individuals, and then, you know, tell me he was going to make it his life's mission to have my head spinning and ruin me. So I'm going to let John jump in though, because y'all heard my story yesterday.
Oh.
That's you, John. That's your cue.
What's up, everybody? My name is John, and I am I don't like to say it like this, but I am the co-founder and senior tech manager for Forsaken Souls Paranormal Research Group. Where do I even begin with this person? Well, first off, I didn't know he existed until we did our first, we did a Lake Shawnee event probably like a month or so ago. And she told me about him, and he seemed like an interesting character at first, but then like it was like whatever. Next thing I know, he was like coming on a next investigation with us. First of all, I'll just kind of jump right into the quicksand. He seemed like, how do I even want to explain this? Like,
You said snake in the grass. I'll never forget that.
Like, first of all, like, for some reason, just the way he was talking to like Jaclyn and like trying to progress forward was like all cool and whatnot. And the first night we met him, when we went to Enfield, the Shawnee thing was the second time we saw him. So when we went to Enfield Demon House in Connecticut, I told him straight up, right in that same living room where where Jay's sitting right now, he was sitting in that exact chair, and I told him pretty much what we do, who we are, and what we don't tolerate. And like I made that specifically clear because he was already trying to like book investigations with us and like trying to run with us and whatnot, which was like, I'm all for like tagging on other team members, but I'm not for it at the same time because I don't know the chemistry, and I don't like to do stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's just not me. Anyway, so I told him straight up, I said, listen, man, you know, a lot of people that try to run with us, they try to just like, they like what we have. They like our portal. Everybody wants to know what the portal is and this and that. And, you know, it's like our bread and butter, man. And honestly, I don't give away that recipe, you know, and it is what it is. Call me a gatekeeper. I really don't care, you know? So I kind of just made it straightforward. It was more to that, and like going into detail of like how people try to, you know, just, you know, piggyback off of us because they hear, oh, these guys got a show, in production, and it's, you know, I was just like, listen, man, I'm just not about it. I don't got time for that BS. So fast forward, we went to a location in Pennsylvania called, and what?
No location names.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Cut that out.
We can bleep it out. Beep, beep.
Action. Right. Be like, anyway, so with that being said, we went to this location and we got some serious activity in there. And I mean like demonic shit, man. All right. There was a pentagram in the basement of this place. It was insane, dude. So like, Jackie got 3 scratches on her back and whatnot. It's just we got video on it and whatever. So this dude was shook. And I mean, he was shooketh because this portal was literally cursing at us, telling us all kinds of wild shit and whatnot. And he was like, I think after that experience, he was like, yo, like, I think we should do like a sideshow type dealio or side thing where it's like me, him, and Jackie, we go in and we take care of like things that have to do with like dark entities and whatnot in locations. And I say, yeah, you know, that'd be a cool show, whatever. And then it just kind of got like, he started like pursuing like, hey, what are you guys doing? Like he started like just booking investigations for us. And I was kind of like, whoa, like, you know, like time out, bro. Like we kind of got our own agenda going on here. You're kind of just like forcing us into things. And I wasn't about that.
Yeah.
And, you know, sheesh, man, I'm losing my train of thought here.
He really started navigating more towards me. He saw John as a roadblock.
Right.
The minute he realized John told him right out at Enfield, it's not that I'm being rude or mean, but I've seen people try to, you know, take advantage of Jackie. He's like, and that's when I step in because I know the situation. I've seen it time and time again. And he agreed with John. But then the minute he heard John say, like, yeah, that'd be a cool show idea, but like, we're working on something right now, he started trying to push John out.
Yeah.
And he would only start to call me and only message me. And, you know, he would say like weird things to me, like, I want our relationship to flourish, like those words. And John would be sitting there like, what? That's weird, right? So that's when John got a little bit more protective, and kind of like not letting Pineapple get what he wanted. You know what I mean? And I remember John saying to me, and I've said this twice now, but he said something's not right. He's like a snake in the grass and he's just slithering in, but on you, and he's staying away from me.
Right, because initially when he would reach out, it would be a group chat between us 3. But then like when he would start suggesting things,
He was cutting you out
like
of it.
shutting it down. Like I was like, nah, that's probably not gonna work or whatever. And then that's when he started shifting towards talking to just Jaclyn by herself. So I told her straight up, I was like, listen, that you don't find that weird that he's not involving me in any conversations? Like, who is this guy? He's an outsider. You know, he has no part of what we're doing, this and that and the third. Like, at this point, I'm getting pissed off, right? So now I'm like, okay, so he's mom and pop and shit. So now this is the funny part. We just came from a location probably like a week or 2 ago. And in that conversation, we're sitting by like a...
Did you guys do that live?
No.
I saw that pop up.
There was
It
a
was like
thumbs
a
up
big white
pop up over your
finger.
screen. Are you guys
Yeah,
live
it's
on any
Like
platform?
this, right? Can you see my finger?
Yeah, it was a thumbs up. I saw that. I saw that on Gary's screen.
Are you guys live on any other platform with the phone at the moment?
No.
What just happened?
Weird
Yeah, the
stuff
thumbs
is
up
afoot.
floated past and pop
A
up.
giant thumb came up.
Yeah,
Like a
you see a
white
thumbs
thumb.
up on our screen?
No, I was looking down. I'm telling you something. So just so you know, really quick, we have a hitchhiking spirit that stays with us. His name is Kay, and
Like Agent K?
he stays in the car. Our psychic medium said he's about 20 to 22, passed away from a really bad car accident, and he attached himself to our vehicle like along our trips, and that he loves to mess with John. shit happens in this car.
Yeah.
Like it's wild.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I'll
he's
tell you
not
now.
messing around.
Tell him he is welcome to make any kind of things
yeah.
happen while he's on camera.
Hey, you get moving. Okay, show them what you got.
There's a guy behind you that looks like Pineapple hiding in your back seat.
You don't want me to respond to that.
I don't know, if you dice it up, you could have yourself a fruit salad.
Oh, could you just imagine it if he popped up in your back seat and he goes, "Hi guys, I need to have a word with you."
Well, we were
Oh, could you
worried about
imagine?
that.
He gets it behind Jack. Is like,
Oh, we're gonna have to bleep that bit.
Spooky, look at that.
Edit that.
I'm gonna be working overtime. I'm gonna be working overtime on the edit for this one, I think.
Oh, man.
No locations.
poor Gary. He's gonna be editing a lot.
Oh, you know how I said this one will be going up in the next day? Maybe next month.
It'll take you a year to get through us.
Yeah, I
shouldn't be that
mean,
bad.
I was worried about him showing up here because this is the location I told you that he told me he wants to take the holy journey with us. This is the client, and the client had to tell him, dude, you're out. Like, that's it. Do not contact me. He kept harassing her. She's like, she blocked him. She's like, I want nothing to do with you. So we were all kind of worried he might pop up here.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh my
continue.
God.
Oh yeah, so we were at Shawnee, and I don't know where he's getting this piece of information on. He was supposed to have a contract and be part of our team and this and that. Because I'll tell you what, I let Jackie be the face of the team, be the face of the show. That's my main goal. Like, and I told her that. I told her, like, I love our show and I love what we do, but I love hitting the camera angles, man. Like, I love being behind the camera, and I just want her to, like, take it. Like, she takes the cake most of the time with Irene, right? And you'll kind of see me in and out, but, like, you won't see me there next to her the whole time. So I let her do her, right? I'm kind of like the silent partner when it comes to shit like this. Now, when he said that and he's like, he went rampant on her after the fact, I literally told her, I said, what is he talking about? We said we were going to give him a slot and a contract and da-da-da-da. Like, that didn't go over. I didn't run that by me. And not only did you not run it by me, but the man upstairs who's in charge of our contracts isn't even going to approve that. Look at that. It goes like again.
What are you doing? Okay, you got to make the lights go off again. Can you do
make
the lights?
those disco lights happen again. That was bloody epic, that.
He likes John the most, so you're gonna have to ask him.
Yeah, he does. He likes to toy with me, so it's all good though.
So I mean, we were sitting around the bonfire at Shawnee, and he approaches John and I, and he says, "Hey, I have a bunch of podcasts I'm doing, and I can invite anybody I want on them except for one. Only one can only be me exclusively, and I'd like to represent our team, Forsaken Souls, to let everybody know about our new show."
Wonder whose
And
podcast
John
that
just
was
looks
gonna
at him and goes,
Listen, the way I did it too is because we were by the fire. So I'm sitting in the chair looking at the fire, and he says that, man. I just like I looked right at him just like that, and I'm like, no. He was like, can I represent Forsaken Souls? Da da da. I was like, I looked dead at him with just like a stare, and I'm like, no, you cannot. I'm like, who's gonna be there? He's like, just me. And I'm like, not me or Jackie, or just Jackie? He was like, no, I can't have any guests on this one. And I was like,
Guests?
Yeah, no, you're not representing us. You're not doing that. Unless an original cast member or team member is on with you, you are not representing us at all. Okay? And man, boy, that was like a punch in his gut.
that's what started it.
Because he looked directly at Jackie like she was gonna like defend him or like jump in his honor and be like, listen, no, that's not, she didn't even like acknowledge it, bro. And
I just
I'm
said,
like,
no, we can't do that.
yeah, and I'm looking at him like, and I told him straight up, nobody's to represent this team unless you're an original cast member. It is what it is. Like, you know what I mean? Because we don't know what you're going to be saying or da-da-da, etc. And we don't want you to reflect that upon us.
Yeah, well,
right?
two things,
Our
right?
entity.
Two things. One, when he said he's representing you guys when he's the newcomer, and then when he says, no, I can't have guests, you guys are the show. That's just a testament to his ego right there. He's just stepping in straight over the top, wanting to take control of everything. And now to answer Jeremy about podcast, what did I show you just the other day? We've been running this thing where we're going to have featured teams and things like that coming on the podcast. Guess who else is now doing that? And I don't know where it's coming from, but there seems to be a lot like what we were talking about last night. He'll pick all the best bits of what we have worked on for so long, and he's picking those things and he's just taking them. He still doesn't know what to do with them, but he's just taking them and he's presenting them as his ideas. He is the biggest plagiarist I've ever known.
That's what I told Jackie too, and believe it or not, man, I was calling these plays from the sidelines before any of these forest fires even happened.
Just like
it was
Jeremy.
Every day. I was literally like getting annoyed, and I'm like, because he's walking around like, oh, I'm gonna buy this haunted location, 800 grand cash, I got it, this and that, and I'm like,
How liquid
so
are you?
I told her straight up, I said, why are we rolling with this dude? Like, because he has money? I'm like, nobody gives a about money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't give about money, bro. Like, it's not even me. And I wear designer, bro. You know what I mean? I'm about it. So I've got money too. So it's like, but I don't give it about you flexing your money or you're gonna, oh, I'm buying this location, this and that. Nah, bro. Like, I'm trying to see the betterment of our team. For him, it seemed like he was trying to buy multiple haunted locations, use her to run a location, and then somehow down that line he was gonna scam her out of something. And I just felt it coming, because I'm like, this is coming way too fast, way too out of the blue. Like, we don't know this guy or nothing like that. Why would he choose us? That's what I was saying. Why us? You know what I'm saying?
Do you want
what
me to?
do we have that he needs?
Do you want me to put a little comparison up to you guys, and you're gonna get it? Jax is the young Elvis, and Pineapple is the Colonel.
No.
Yeah.
He is going to run. He's going to run you guys into the ground, and he's the one making all the money and everything. And then he will just move on to the next when you guys have done what you need to do for him.
So get this, and that's funny that you say that, because he's telling her, oh, I spent like 5 G's on Ghost Stop, whatever, and I bought all this equipment, and he thought in his mind, because he dropped all this money, that Ghost Stop was gonna be like, boom, I'm giving you, my bad, I'm sorry. That Ghost Stop or whatever,
It's all right.
TS was gonna give you a straight up sponsorship, like right off the rip. Right off the rip, he thought he was getting a sponsorship just because he bought his way. It wasn't about representing the company or what you've done for the company. It's more like, hey, I'm gonna give you this stack of money. Can you give me a sponsorship for free gear? Now he was talking all this shit about them, right? And then he goes ahead and he's telling Jackie, oh, I'm gonna buy more equipment, and then my friend's girlfriend owns this art college or whatever, or art school, and I want to bring all the equipment in, and I want to do like a show and tell for the ghost stuff and this and that and the third, and he wants Jackie to be the talker and this and that he was gonna get it, you know. And I looked at her and I said, listen, this dude sounds like he's just trying to capitalize off of you. You know what I'm saying? It don't sound like it's something that's for the betterment of you or me, because who is he is what I was saying. Like, who is him? Like, he's really nobody. He's nobody. You know what I mean? So I said, he's using you for capitalism. She's like, oh, well, you know, it's this and that. And I'm like, no. This dude is shady. He has a hidden agenda. His agenda was like, it was there. And I came up with this. Out of all the teams he's messed up, what he's doing is, and like you just said, you said he's taking bits and pieces of everybody's like strongest point, and that's how I said it too. He's taking everybody's like strong point and he's trying to mold it into his own and create this thing where he's like, yup, I've got a podcast with a show and I run this and I have a haunted location, and you know what I mean? It's like this mold of perfect paranormal beauty that everybody wants, you know, a location, a show, and your own podcast. Right? So he's got everything in one. Yeah, like, you know, that's what he was doing. Okay. And I told her that. I said, dude, I just don't know what it is about this guy. Like, he just seemed like a super snake. And then there was times where he would trip up and catch an attitude, especially with her, bro. And he would say something to her, and I'm like, what the fuck did he just say? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, yo, wait a minute, who's this dude talking to? Now, fast forward to the part where we found everything out and we started calling each other out the night of, right? the morning of, at 4 a.m, this dude is talking to her all kinds of sideways, right? All kinds of sideways. So I come out of left field and I text him and I'm talking all this shit to his face and I'm running everything. I'm posting the fucking the criminal joint that he did, you know, the felony he committed, the newsletter, and he's all like, "Oh, I don't care about my past life." I'm like, "Bro, you should. That shit's gonna catch up to you real quick."
It does.
And this is what happens.
He told me to call my guard dog off.
Right. He says, "Get your lackey off of me," and this and that. I'm like, bro, here's the funny thing is you don't have the balls to text me and to tell me like that to my face. And you wouldn't even dare say it to my face, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let alone you're going to go ahead and talk to her like that. And you think that I'm not going to come at you from the side? You know what I'm saying? So he was like, "Oh, I'm going to have your head and you better watch your back." I'm like, bro, listen, you coming at us with lawyers and shit like that. If you really feel some type of way, you really want to man up and step up, bro, I'm right here.
Oh, hang on. What did she do?
Something's going really wacky on her phone.
She's like, "Shh, you gotta be quiet."
Oh, there we go. They're back.
Oh, yeah, we can see each other now. Awesome.
I thought it was a domestic.
Yeah. So, like, he was just coming at her like all kinds of sideways, and something just told me, like, once he started like pushing me out, it's because I was right here in her ear, like, "Don't do it. He's doing this. I'm telling you, he's gonna fuck us over. This and that and the third, da 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 da." Right? And she's just like, la 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 la, you know, giving him a chance. And I'm like, it's not. This is the second person that said to her, "This guy is like a ball and chain. He's gonna stop you from progressing. This and that." It's not that I'm a ball and chain. It's just that I can, when I look at somebody and I see the intentions. I mean, dude, I've been around, man. Like, I've been in the military, so I've seen all walks of life. I've seen bullshitters. I've seen nice guys. I've seen everything, man. You know what I'm saying? So I already am reading the plays. Okay, so if I'm sitting there and I'm telling you, "Yo, this dude is doing this dude is doing that," I'm not saying it because I'm jealous. I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You want to help progress us, that's fine. I'm with it. As long as you involve me, because you can't just simply like just talk to her. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I'm like the other guy too. Like, everything you're gonna tell her, it's gonna come back to me, and it's gonna be like, "Well, let's discuss this. Do we want to move forward with this? Da 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 da." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where everybody seems to fail to realize, is that they just look at me and they're like, "Oh yeah, no, that's her tech manager." No, brother, it's not like that.
No.
I need fish.
When I found out you've got a military background and everything like that, we've got a friend who he's military over here, and one of the things they teach you is to trust your first instinct, because in a armed situation, that instinct is could be a matter of life and death, and you have to trust your own.
Of course.
And you take that into normal life as well, because obviously, pretty much life is a battlefield. You know, you've always got different battles that you got to fight, and we're in the middle of one at the moment. He's like the
right.
He's like the Saddam Hussein in the paranormal world.
Yeah, no,
He's worse than that. He's psychotic, guys. He really is.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's really
there's
like
some really bad things about him.
Psychopathic narcissist. I can't even explain it, man. He's such a snake. When you look at him, you can just see it. Like, you can just see he has ill intention. He'll try to be nice to you, and it's just that the problem is he's too nice. That's where he messed up with me. He's too nice.
I found that he was like, the first time Gary and myself met him, I called him out on a heap of shit.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing that took to me was, you're introducing yourself to people that run a podcast, and you're half asleep laying in bed still.
Yep.
Wow, really?
Yeah, he
I
was.
called him out.
He was.
Yeah.
He didn't even open his eyes for half of it.
Bro, that's what I'm saying.
Well, there's, you know, it's crazy because he, you know, that whole accusation he made of me and my team and my event and our meet stuff, you know, I've been told now by 2 people that they think he has some kind of
issue,
addiction situation going on. Sleeps all day, can't keep himself up, always has, remember I told you the runny nose, like a whole bunch of shit going on.
The hammer.
Kind of makes sense.
He's on the nod.
Yep, he's on that baking soda life. You know what I mean? So, and you know, you know, it's the funny part is that he ran around telling people that we did that. I'm like, bro, what? I'm like, look at me, bro. Do I look like I do any of that? Like, I am a big dude, bro. I am not here smashing lines of baking soda, bro. Like, I'm not even about that, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then he tried to say I'm a drunk. Now, I refer back to the military thing. I don't drink because of just certain things that happen during that time. So I refuse to drink unless it's a social drink. Like if I'm with you guys personally, I'll shoot back a couple of beers with you as long as the vibe is right, you know. But if I'm by myself, I don't do that, bro. Like, and I'm not doing that in investigations.
No,
you know?
no, that's number one. You don't do that.
Noon without a drink. I'm like, bro, I don't drink. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't drink. That's not who I am. You know, so it's just like he's just spouting all these lies because he has nothing against us. Hence why he's doing what he's doing with this detective nonsense, okay?
Yeah.
And what he's not gonna like what he finds. So like, I think my biggest thing is like, instead of him like having an issue and stepping to me like a man and like, I'll scrap his ass any day. You know what I'm saying? I will scrap buddy any day. All right, you might want to just edit that part out. Edit that part out.
Maybe we have to edit the whole show.
I'm in it, dude. I'm in the roller coaster and I'm just telling you everything. Bro, I'll tell you what, there's like, what?
You didn't hear that bang?
I didn't hear no bang. Anyway, sorry about that.
That
But
was
yeah,
a car hitting. Sorry.
listen, man, this guy, dude, like, he's just a snake, bro. He's taking everything everybody's worked hard for. He's a POS, bro. The way I heard him talk about Jay and everything like that, I'm like, bro, you know what's the funny part? You don't have the to even talk to that person like that to their face, bro. I told him you won't have the decency to go to that man's house and talk to him like that in his face.
No, just his wife.
Just his wife. Because what he does is he doesn't try to intimidate the men. He tries to intimidate the women.
Exactly.
That's what he does.
That's what I was just about to say.
Okay, so with that being said, if that man ever came and tried to knock on Jay's door, I'm pretty sure Jay's gonna have a 12 gauge right ready for him in the face. All right. I'm sorry, edit that part out. Jamie's looking at me to come the fuck on, man.
I would have a big giant rubber. So
Anyway. Wait.
I'm just gonna stop him from talking.
This is going to be 12 seconds of beep.
What did Fernando tell you yesterday?
Yes, he did.
What did he tell you?
He did.
He warned you.
Yeah,
he says he likes some orgasmic jerky.
He did say that as well.
Cool,
Yes.
man.
Bro,
We're gonna go to GG X really soon here.
What I get from that last little bit then is obviously he was avoiding you, John. He was going straight at you, Jax, and then with Jay, he's going straight at your wife. He's not going at you. You know what I mean? That tells you everything you need to know. That tells you everything you need to know about the woman, about the man, whatever.
Yeah, because I warned him in the beginning. And I scared him really bad. And I warned him in the beginning not to play with me. I said, you know me only as a paranormal person. Because I running a haunted location, I look at it almost like a hotel, you know, customer service, always the smile. But there's another sinister side of me, like I was in the military too. And I always had drilled in my head situational awareness. Always be aware of your situation. And I saw from the beginning, and I pulled him over. I said, listen, I said, you ever blank me, I said, I'm going to be your worst freaking nightmare. I said, you'll never see me coming. And he looked at me with a strange face because he had said some really, the whole conversation, everything was like, he was delusional. I mean, if this was the 1980s, be honest, guys, he would be on Thursday in a mental hospital taking pills 8 times a day because he should not be functioning out in the real world. I'm not just saying that, but he gave me so many weird key words that I was like, wait a minute, you know what, dude, there's something wrong. And when he started bouncing around everybody, he had a master plan. And John was like, he had a master plan. And when I'll tell you what it is, and you guys are gonna freak out. And it's really dark, it's really sinister. And he started to execute it. And he had a lot of players involved, and there's one person who I'm really worried about that I could see her being found in the ditch somewhere.
He's got some stuff going on too, Jay. You know what I mean? So like, it's kind of weird that they're so close. Yeah,
very. And he had some really weird things to me from the very beginning. And I sat back and I started asking him he didn't even realize I was asking him certain questions because I was trying to build up a timeline. And then I was like, you know what? This makes a lot of sense now. And but I'll get into this later on, guys. Keep talking, John. I'm listening. I don't know if I jump in, guys. That's just me because I'm.
No, I thought it was. I thought that whole thing about Jax being attacked and then your wife being attacked was a good segue to move on to some of your stuff, because a lot of what you has to say directly affects John and Jax anyway. And you guys have had actual face-to-face dealings with said pineapple, whereas Jeremy and I, we've just had sort of 122,000 messages per minute. Conversation.
No,
well, not him, because
that was you. He won't reply to
Keep
me.
in mind-
He won't look at my messages. He won't nothing. I've got nothing.
He's a kitty cat pineapple.
He's a Olympic
just so
donut puncher.
Keep in mind, you know, this is where, and I think I said this yesterday too, he would go to Jay and say terrible things about me and John and my team, and then come to me and say terrible things about Jay and Elka and about the issues that he said that they had.
Mm-hmm.
But he never expected Jay and I to connect. And that's the beauty in it, because had we not done so, we'd all be sitting here victims still.
We'd all be thinking we're the only ones that have been targeted. And the fact
That's
that
like
we're all here.
Gary.
Yeah. With all of us here.
Told
Who
me
else?
to stay away from you. You know what I mean? Like, no, you don't need to go contact Gary. I'll take care of it.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, wow.
You're not going to speak on my behalf.
He apparently owns the podcast now. Like, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
So,
I'd like to see him try.
He's lynched onto that individual female and her boyfriend's team, and also another big paranormal team that he is trying to get his hooks into, because he's trying to take their stuff as well. And it's like, how do you warn people without being just blunt?
Well, the problem we got with that is
you
if you
share these two videos.
Yeah, if you try to warn people, they just think you're talking ill of him, because he's already probably spun it that you guys try to stitch him up, and then he's off doing the righteous thing, and you guys are the creeps that are doing all the gnarly stuff in the background, when it's actually the opposite way around. Now, at some point, a snake doesn't change its scales. It's going to come out at some point. It's just a matter of how much damage is going to be done to those people before it does come out.
So here's the best thing you can do.
And I'm glad we we have such a strong connection with our locations, because there was one specific location that he tried to reach out to with that nonsense, and I knew the owner wasn't even going to buy it right off the rip, because the night prior, the owner came up to us, and we were huddled around him, and he's talking to us and everything. He's a very cheerful guy, man. And edit, my bad.
Pineapple do. Pineapple, what is it? Dildo. Pineapple do. Pineapple do.
All right.
In the distance.
Stop doing your baking soda. It's not helping.
No, all right.
Pineapple
I'm going to stop everybody just for a moment, right? Jeremy and my first ever podcast.
Can we random, like, call him a douchebag? Is that acceptable on TV?
Yeah. Jeremy, my first podcast, we recorded for an hour, but by the time we took out all the swear words, we took out all the mistakes, and we literally had a 28-minute podcast. I think we need to record for about 2 or 3 hours here to get an hour out of this one.
I know, it's gonna get crazy. I have my little dog here, and I'm actually holding his ears because he's
swamp donkey.
Listen, he stood off to the side and completely disregarded the owner.
Disrespected him.
Disrespected that man, dude. Didn't even acknowledge him. Nothing.
Nor the memorial that I did.
Okay, or the memorial that we did on the second part of this land. All right, just truly disrespectful that night, man. And once he reached out to that specific owner, that guy was like, "The fuck out."
We got this.
Yeah, he was like, "Yeah, okay, we got it. Don't worry about it, bud. Delete, block." So a lot of the spots he tried to reach out to, literally, it just blew up in his face, because what he fails to realize is that she could rapport like no other, man. She can build a client connection, because she has that background in real life, not just in paranormal. She does it for work too. So it just works out. Everybody likes her, and this and that and the third. And I'm just kind of like the dude that's like, okay, yeah, be nice to her, but like if you start coming at her sideways, or you try to 180 on her and like try to scam her or whatever multiple people have tried to do to her in the past, I'm gonna be like, yeah, no, me and you got a problem.
Yeah.
And that's where I'll leave that, and I'll let Jay go ahead and talk about his stuff.
Jay's is going now. All the spirits are coming out today. They're playing at the Enfield House.
Painting.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, wow.
What's happening? My
You
face
had a
being
thumb.
distorted like this.
You had a thumb come
like
up on
that.
your face, man. All right, so Jay, what I want you to do is go through when he first came to your location, because I can say
All
this
right.
without saying names. We did do
I
a
won't
live.
say
We
Pop
did.
Monkey or
No.
Pocket Scratcher.
We did do a
or
live stream.
Donkey Dick. Or, oh, no, I can't say that. But,
Oh my
all
god.
right.
We.
Sorry. Beep, beep, beep. All right.
Do you reckon it's too late to just
I'm
start the
gonna
whole
tell
thing
you
again?
Guys, I'm going to tell you how he came in, how sinister, and how mentally ill Pineapple. So we call him Pineapple though for beep beep beep. Okay, so here's how sick this person is. Now we've been around since 2006. In the early days, like you guys know, we battled something really awful, right? And we got help, and we made we built a foundation. We had some really big names in a place, and we decided, like I said, this year, after we couldn't keep renters, to go public and doing things. Well, we had teamed up because we didn't know anything about running, anything like this. So we had teamed up with a guy who was an event planner who was supposed to be temporary, like 6 months till we got our feet off the ground. Well, we never had a problem with anybody in all these years. Now, all of a sudden, we start having issues. And like little fires kept popping up over the summertime. And they got pretty nasty with some people. And we couldn't figure out what was going on. So all of a sudden, there's one person, she was talking to us, everything. And we'll make a long story short, she kind of went cold. And we ended up blocking her for kind of her own protection because we knew something was about to happen. Well, what we didn't realize is this guy, Pineapple, though, was in the background from the very beginning. And this is when I started piecing things together and I started profiling this guy. Now, what happened was he came in with this event company. Let's say, I'll give you like a timeline in July. Now, that's when all my trouble started. And he mentioned, can I use the word like conjuring and other places where he might have been at, or is that too kind of
you're good. You're good with that.
Okay, so we ended up doing a thing here. They wanted to do what they call a triple Estes method. Okay, now that's the way I'm like stuttering. Triple method. Okay, so I'm like, so that's the background. No, so what happened was I didn't know he was involved in this triple. Bill, whatever this Pineapple's guy's name is. He was there watching from the beginning, and I never knew that. So when the event planner, they were doing things here, he was already taking control over that, because when he came in, when he had called me late summer, he said, "Hey, my name is Pineapple Dough." Yeah, and he says, we have a mutual friend, and let's call her Bumblebee. All right, there we go. Let's call her Bumblebee. All right, all right. And he says, I'm really good friends with Bumblebee. And I'm like, oh, okay. He goes, why do you hate her so much? I said, I don't hate anybody. I said, I don't even know you. He said, well, you're gonna get to know me really good. He says, I hear that you're gonna be going to the Warren's Paracon. And I said, yeah, I was invited as a guest by one of the owners of it. To be there. And he's, oh, okay. He goes, I will be there. And he goes, I will bring Bumblebee with me and you guys can talk. And he says, my name is blank, 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 blank. So I'm like, okay. So, and he said, we have a mutual enemy. Now this is the very first phone call. I thought it was really weird that he said, we have a mutual enemy. And I'm playing dumb. And I'm like, well, who's that? And he said, let's call this other place, Pineapple and Bumblebee. Okay, those are my keywords. Okay, that's my code words. All right, and then I'll use other words like sunshine.
For the other locations, they great. Not the R word.
You could just say paranormal buzzing with Bumblebee.
There you go. All right, yeah. Well, and then okay, I gotta keep it clean, Gary. I gotta. It's a hard.
Jeremy's like this, God damn it.
Oh, shit.
I know.
Not when I got a mouthful of bloody Pepsi, man.
Yes. So now, all of a sudden, we're at the Paracon, and Pineapple Boy, he comes up, and all of a sudden I'm there, I'm talking to people, and this guy comes up with like a giant moose head, and he gets right in my face. He goes, "I'm Pineapple." I'm like, "What the right?" I'm like, "All right, nice." He goes, "Would you mind talking to Bumblebee?" I'm like, "I guess so." He goes, "I'll be right back." 45 minutes later, he brings Bumblebee over, and she's like, I'm like, "Listen," I said, "we don't have anything against you." I said, "We knew this was coming down when you were with and I didn't want to get involved." I said, because I knew what was going to happen. You were going to get burned. So she said, "All your problems came from." Like, I don't have any problems. I said, maybe mentally I got a lot of issues, but other than that, I'm okay. But and then all of a sudden he leaves his gym bag next to my table, almost like it was an IED, right? I'm like, this is weird. So I'm waiting for it to go boom, right? And I'm waiting my legs go flying, and I can't feel my legs because he ain't got none.
Oh, he did.
So he's like, "Okay, we
would have lost Fernando so long ago."
Right. I was suspicious of this little bag placed next to me, right? I'm just waiting for Omar to come out, right? So now he comes back. He goes, "Oh, I knew you were going to take care of my bag. Thank you so much." Later on, he goes, "We'll be in touch." And he's looking me in the eye like this. He's like, "We'll be in touch." I'm like, "All right, whatever, right?" So now
he did that to me with his dog.
Yeah, his dog. Yeah, I feel bad for his dog. His dog.
Don't you want to touch me?
Don't name his dog.
I know. Don't name his dog.
No, we cannot
We'll call
be
his
dog.
dog Flacio. I don't know.
We'll call his dog Peanut
He's
Butter.
innocent in this.
Yes.
That poor baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, big timeout. Whoa!
Can we pause this for a second? I need to get a drink.
All right. Just a drink. Foster's. The Australian beer.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That's actually not unbalanced.
All right.
Anyway, back on track.
You okay, Jeremy?
This is your intermission.
Look, I'm dead inside, so let's go.
I told you guys when you get me out, like, this is not going to be
great.
Normal, man. Not normal.
Yeah, you can say.
Is that really a big?
Yourself ready there, Jeremy? All right.
Is that really a big? Is that really a big problem over there? Like calling some.
Oh really?
I'm only saying it for the safety of your guys' show.
Hang on, Gary. Hang on. Are we chopping this part out?
I think I'm just going to cut the audio to the whole bloody thing and just let everybody watch what's going on.
So realistically then, calling some.
I know you guys say it like it's water. Like, you know
that word is like morphine. You kick your toe and say that word, pain goes away.
Right.
Wow. So
anyway,
that works.
We've got 15 minutes left. You've got a lot to cover, man. You've got a lot to cover.
No, Gary, we're going all day, brother. WWF
here. Just remember one thing. Right. If we're going all day, it's going to be at least 5 days in editing.
Let's get ready to rumble.
It's okay, Gary, because I don't know how to edit, so.
I'm the one that's going to do it, man.
You know what? You gotta do a speed talk. Go.
Okay, so now we're going to use Bumblebee, Pineapple, and get Sisa.
Yeah.
That works, right?
Great.
Hospital Sisa. I think this shit. All right, so.
Jay, focus.
Yes.
Focus.
I am. I'm bringing back the Force. I was going to wear my Jedi hat today as a Jedi in training, but no good. All right.
Back to the pineapple.
All right.
Pineapple.
We'll go back to the pineapple. All right. So anyhow, I'll bring it down to. I'll come in. Okay. So all this stuff was happening. So he ends up calling up and he wants to schedule an investigation here, and he wants to know how much all this and that. So we're like, okay. So first thing he's doing is he's saying, you know what? Now he's trying to manipulate me. He said, everybody out there, they hate you. You create a lot of enemies. I said, who? I said, name some people. He couldn't. And he said, well, you know, Bumblebee's talking that someone's going to go live and they're going to discredit you. I said, bring it on. I said, because I said, I didn't do anything to anybody. So he was trying to irritate me and trying to get under my skin for me to like lash out and something. And he kept going on, and I'm like, what's going on? So now on the other hand, Get Shizer is freaking out. They keep calling up and they want a video chats, right? And they kept asking video chats because all this stuff, it was getting really weird. So as this is happening, we're like, what do we do to, you know, upset the universe? Because we're like, all we're doing is renting out and we're just having fun at it. So he kept being more and more derogatory. So I finally got a hold of him. I said, listen, I said, you know me as a spooky guy. I said, but you don't know my past. You don't know where I come from. I said, be very careful, because he started acting like a wise guy, right? And he started dropping certain names. And I said, you better be careful. I said, because you don't know who knows who. And I mentioned somebody when I grew up, and I says, if you know everybody, then you're this person. So anyhow, then he starts going on about really weird things. Then he's like, he comes over and he goes, I want to break bread with you. I'm like, what? He goes, I'm going to break bread. He's looking at me, I'm going to break bread with you, right? And I'm like, do you know what that even means? I said, do you know what happens if you break bread and you betray me? You know, this guy's living in a fictional world. That's what he's living in a cartoon world. So I know what it means. And then he goes, I'll be back. I'm like, oh boy. So he comes up and he investigates the first night. Now he brings this kid over, and I feel bad for Fernando. So he brings this kid over, and they're doing this estate, all this stuff, everything. So the next day, they leave and they call us over and they say, we made contact with the devil. I mean, you did. He goes, and the other guy said his soul was going to be stolen. I'm like, well, you can't lose your soul unless if you give it up freely. So the kid's sitting there like he's on massive amounts of like antipsychotic medication. I feel so bad for him. And I'm looking at him like, are you okay? Right? I felt like it was a hostage situation. I'm like, are you okay? And he goes, I have a lot to tell you. I said, you can talk. No, not right now. We got to get back, all this and that. So they leave, right? Now this kid's so distraught. Now Pineapple calls up and said, your house got to him. He walked out in front of a car and tried committing suicide. I'm like, no way. We never heard from this guy. So he said, I did the right thing. I put him on a bus and sent him back to Alabama.
That's what he told us too. That's what he told us about the same kid, about our event.
Yeah, so now the truth comes out when we were talking. Now what really happened was, we find out that this kid, now listen to this, he was living with Pineapple for 3 weeks. So he moved in, and in 3 weeks, this kid went from being a normal person, like say Jeremy or something like that, to where this kid was trying to commit suicide. So whatever Pineapple did to him in 3 weeks got him so mentally deranged that he wanted to kill himself. So Fernando said, he said, hang in there, and they got him onto a bus and sent him back to Alabama. So I'm like, what did he do, or what was he trying to do to this kid in 3 weeks where he broke him down mentally, where he was trying to walk out into a major highway and end his life? So as this is going on, he's coming in. Now he's coming up to me and he's like, dude, I'm going to do a 3-night, 4-day investigation, and I'm reaching out to all these big names. Nick Goth, I'm reaching out to these guys, all these people, and he goes, they're gonna come to your house. He goes, we're gonna clear up all this bad things that because of your location is tainted, all this stuff. I'm like, dude, I don't get it, right? So one by one, this guy canceled because everybody hates you out there, and this guy canceled, and this guy canceled. He goes, do you know somebody by the name of cool person. Oh, she is? You know her? I said, yeah. I said, I talked to her in the summertime. I said, I never hear anything bad about her. I said, why? I said, did she cancel too? And he's like, no. He goes, I think she's coming in. He goes, you do know her? I said, yeah, why? I said, is there a problem? No problem. He's like, I didn't know that. So as he's doing that, he's trying to make a scenario with Bumblebee tells him that this person, let's use the word Kansas sauce, right? So Kansas sauce, I didn't know there was a problem because I don't want to say get stupid, but anyhow, Get Sizer, right? Had brought
Get Stupid
Kansas,
is good.
Huh?
Get
Stupid's
Stupid
good, right?
Good.
Yeah. So Get Stupid had brought in Kansas sauce in the summertime to do an investigation. But what I didn't know is that they were trying to like break it down. So when he left, I thought everything was fine. And then next thing I know, Get Stupid called up and said, hey, what did you do? What happened? I'm like, nothing. It was just an investigation. So he said, well, don't worry about it. Now, I didn't know at this same time, Pineapple's working in the background. So now as Pineapple's coming in, he goes, is there anything we can do? I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, oof. He goes, he always used the word oof. He goes,
Oh, I know.
He goes,
I can't stand it.
Oh, I hate it. He goes, I got to pay all these hotels. He goes, I got all these celebrities coming in. I got to pay for Jack's hotel. I got to pay for all these people's hotel. And he goes, if I'm going to be doing 4 nights over at your place 4 days, he goes, it's going to be really expensive.
You say I got a hotel?
We didn't get it.
Because I
He
drove
said he
all the
was
way back
paying-
to my mama's house. My mom lives in Connecticut, and that's where I drove. 35 minutes to
No
her house.
way. Oh,
Yeah.
my God. He said he bought you a hotel that you left
Hell
early
no, he
that
didn't.
morning.
No,
he did it.
my mother lives in Connecticut. I drove home and then drove back in the evening.
Yep.
Oh, my God. He
Liar.
said
That
that.
boy's a liar.
I asked him and the next day where you were. He goes, oof. He goes, yeah, she's really busy and she left at like something around 6 a.m. He goes, I'm sorry, brother. I'm like, all right. I'm like, so he says, yeah. So he says, he goes, is there anything we can do to help me? He goes, offset this. It's gonna be a huge bill. He goes, I got people like Nick Goff coming in. I gotta pay them big money. I gotta pay John and all this guy. And I said, well, I know John's out. I said, well, no, John's not coming out. I said, are you sure? I said, I know John. I said, I'll call him. Oh, no. He goes, no, he can't make it. He's doing something for one of his shows. I'm like, all right. So now he's like, now I said to him, I said, how? He goes, you know what? You mentioned that somebody was trying to build you a website. I said, yeah, a guy by the name of Danger. So he said, tell him not to do it. I have the connections, bro. He goes, I know everybody in the field. He goes, I'll make you, he goes, like a $10,000 website. He goes, because you took a chance on me. So I'm like, okay. So I said, well, before we do anything, I said, I heard that, that you're a convicted felon. Whoa, how did you hear that? He goes, you're scaring me, Jay. He goes, you know a lot. I said, no. I said, you tell. I said, if I find out that you had anything to do with children or with women, I said, you're out of here so freaking fast. I said, he goes, no. He goes, what it was, he says, you know how things are. He goes, I was young, I was dumb. He goes, I was breaking up. He goes, I got drunk. And he goes, and I was arguing. He goes, and somebody tapped me on the shoulder. I turned around and I punched. And it happened to be a state trooper. And then I said, that got you a felon? So then he goes, well, no. He goes, after that, they were after me. He goes, and I was sitting in a car, and this guy was a drug dealer, and I had no drugs on me. He goes, but, he goes, you know how it is. He goes, I was guilty by association. And he says, but I cleared my name. Everything's fine. I said, well, that was it. I said, I said, as long as it doesn't involve women, like you molested anybody or you're trafficking women or raping people.
Or beat them up.
Yeah. I said, that's fine. I said, I don't play these games. He goes, no, really. I only hit a cop. So he's like, oh, everything's cool. So I didn't know anything about him. So he's coming in and he's telling me he's going to do all these things and this and that. And he's trying to be my buddy. But his main goal, guys, was he said, after he said that he had the common enemy would Get Stupid, his goal was to destroy everybody in the field. He said, my goal is to disprove the paranormal and to break all these people down because they're going out, and he goes, and they're giving people false hope. So I'm like, I don't want anything to do with this. And he says, well, you don't want to be part of my team. I said, no. I said, I'm not out to destroy people. I said, only if they attack me. I said, and still I'm not out to destroy people. So he's like, well, fair enough. And that's what he said, fair enough, honest question, right? So as he goes on, he's telling me really delusional things. You know what? A bumblebee is afraid of you. I'm like, why would Bumblebee afraid of me? I said, I have text messages where she pretty much says some pretty crazy things. I said, I don't know why Bumblebee would be afraid, because she was supposed to come up over Labor Day weekend and spend 3 days while she was making, and I think I had this on text message, she wanted to write a book and help Elka, but she said, you know, why I'm over at your place upstairs on a renter side, I'm going to be alone. And I'm like, well, you can do a lot of investigations alone. I said, you're going to be alone. I said, you know, so, and that was, you know, that was it. I said, so from that point to being, oh, well, you know what, somebody's trying to bring you down. So everything he was saying, guys, started turning to be a big lie. And he was saying he doesn't talk to Get Stupid anymore. But then 3 weeks ago, he was showing me text that he's talking with Get Stupid because they're talking about things. So everybody who he's having a problem with, guys, he's basically, it's a lie. He's pretty much going on them and he's working on them. So he's going to them, telling bad things about me. They're talking to him. Then it's like a big circus. Now he's working on the Hinsdale. He's saying everything's about the Hinsdale, and I can't warn this guy. I feel bad because I know this guy, and I feel bad that he's working on him. And he's working on Bumblebee, but everything he's saying, everything that's coming out of his mouth is a lie, and he's delusional. He's saying that he knows all these big people. So after the 3-day, 4-night investigation, he tells me that Fernando won't be coming back anymore because he was scratched really bad and it messed with his mind, and that he is afraid of your house, that because Satan scratched him personally and he doesn't know how to process this. And I'm like, but he's in a paranormal field. I said, these go with the hazards. No, your house got 2 of my investigators. He goes and destroyed them.
2 of his investigators.
Yeah, his investigators, right? So he said, but I'm going to help you. He says, I'm going to help you with everything being said about you. You took a chance on me, and I'm going to be there with you. So he said, but don't tell anybody. He goes, don't tell Bumblebee that I'm with you because she doesn't like you, and it creates problems. So everything I'm telling him, it's like he's not even listening. I tell the next day he's supposed to come over. So the way things are supposed to happen is in the daytime, he's supposed to come over in the morning, work on this really expensive website, and then he's supposed to at nighttime do filming and have all these celebrity people come over, and then by the end, by Sunday, was supposed to be, guess what, he watched too much taps, because now there's going to be the big reveal. He said it's going to be a big reveal, and we're going to reveal this website to you and all this stuff to get you going, and he says it's going to be amazing. Now he's like Donald Trump. It's going to be huge. It's going to be amazing. And he goes, you're going to love it. So now what happens is he's showing up every day at 5, 6 o'clock at night. So now he makes this big radio thing with you guys and says, hey, by the way, you got to be up tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock early, really early, because you're doing this podcast with Western Australia. I said, I am. He goes, you have to do this for me. It's major. It's huge. So I'm like, okay. I said, you know what? This is going to help you. So now that morning comes up, I'm up early. I got my coffee. You know, I'm well, according to him, I'm probably popping all kinds of massive drugs so I can be awake, right? So now.
He did tell me that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did.
Really?
We'll take what he said offline, because I wouldn't even. Although it's not true, it was real, like, detailed.
Yeah. So I'm all strung out on drugs too, and you know, and so now we're waiting. So Elka finally said, hey, you better call him. Something's wrong. She goes, they're not here. So I call him up. Now, here's the part. He didn't realize that Fernando was waking up. He pretends he doesn't know what day it is, and that I'm being misunderstood, that it's the next day, and this and that, and oh my God. Then Fernando's like, oh my God, the alarm clocks didn't go off. Now he's like, oh my God, the alarm. He's reading from a script, because now he's going by what Fernando says. Oh my God, none of the alarm clocks, I don't get this. Now his son is like, Dad, he goes, they had 5 alarm clocks set, 5. Right? He's pretending he's trying to think I'm stupid. It's your house, Jay. The demons came to the hotel and somehow disengaged all 5 alarms. Yep. He had no plans on coming over. What he was probably going to say, hey guys, you know what? Jay didn't want to do this, or Jay didn't want to do that, right? But now Fernando's like, I am so sorry. So now he can't lie on this one. So now he's like, oh my God, we're going to be over. We're coming over. He gets over here. He's all disoriented and things. Fernando's trying to help him set up. And then you guys know the rest. He can't go online. This is happening. And he doesn't know what he's doing.
Nope.
So now we're winging it. We're talking, because I don't know what he made plans. So I'm like, okay, I'll talk 100 miles an hour, and hopefully somebody will engage with me to find out what exactly is going on. So now he's cutting Fernando out of the whole thing. We're going upstairs. Now, the other day, before we went live on the first time, I went back and I watched the whole entire episode. And I'm like, oh my God, this guy's got issues. Mm-hmm. You see him upstairs when he picked up that teddy bear on that bed. I kept talking for a reason to keep him out. You could see he was getting disoriented. He was getting distraught. His anger was coming out, because every time he was wanted, and Gary picked up on it when he wanted to say, this is spooky. And I was like, and by the way, you want to have some fun up here with these people with the bathroom? And he's like, oh, no. And he's like, spooky. And I'm like, and these people had diarrhea. Oh, and you could see he was getting distraught and his anger was coming out. Mm-hmm. So as we're going on and on this stuff, everything he's telling us is a lie. Yeah. Everything he's making plans a lie. So as his world is crumbling down, he called me up right around New Year's and he said, hey, how about this? You want to be partners in spooky things? He goes, I was talking with Jax. She's making me a partner in Forsaken Souls, and I'm going to be her equal partner, and we're going to run it. And didn't you say that your brother was killed? He goes, I talked with her, and she wants to do a cold case about your brother. And I got mad, because that was something that was supposed to have been in private, right? How my family died, right? And things like that. And I'm like, oh, okay. He goes, yeah. He goes, Jax wants to pick it up and bring it out to light. He goes, and if there's any deep covered government, Jax has stuff in the FBI, and they're going to warn her if she's getting too close. I said, do you know what's going to happen? I said, do you know what deep covered government's going to do? I said, if this is what your deep covered government is, I said, they're not going to warn Jax. I said, Jax is going to have a heart attack. I said, or a car accident. That's how they work, because I said, they don't want their shit out. They don't even want people to even know about it. So if you're getting close, you're going to have an accident. I says, and you're not, and I said, you're never going to see it. Oh, well, yeah, no, but, I said, no. I said, what did you say to Jax? Well, no, it's all good. She's going to dig in with her government skills and find out what happened to your brother. And then he's like, I got to go. I goes, every time he gets against the wall, I got to go. I got a phone call. It's my lawyers. It's my dough people calling me up because I got a new shipment coming in, right? So and I got a whole case of but everything is a lie and it's unraveling. So now he wants to make a banner with spooky.
No.
Spooky does.
Dallas.
I said Spooky does Dallas, right?
Yep.
And can we say that? So I'm trying to find.
That's probably the safest thing we've been able to say all night. That.
So okay, Spooky does Dallas. He wants me to be partners with him, right? Because he wants to have a banner now. Because at this point, I'm realizing nobody wants to be with him. No, everybody's shutting him down. So he wants to do Paracons supporting Spooky's Dallas with the Enfield House, right? And then he said, we're going to have banners made up, everything. Now he's contacting the Long Island, New Jersey woman with blonde hair, if you guys know who that is. And he's contacting. Yeah. So, yeah, we used to be really close until Get Stupid got a hold of her, right? Now she like runs away because she can't be deblemished with a tainted house. So now all this is happening. So now all of a sudden he says, contact the Gettysburg Bash. He goes, you know Pam and Steve. He goes, I don't know them. He goes, call them up. So Elka says, you got to reach out to Pam. So I said, okay. So I sent her a message and I said, hey, I need 2 tables. I said, I got this guy. She goes, what is his name? I said, well, he goes by Spooky Dallas. So she's like, there's a big thing. So I don't know what's going on. She goes, do you know him? So I vouched for him. I said, yeah, he's a stand-up person. She goes, are you sure? I said, yeah. I said, I never vouch for people. And I just said, well, since we're going to, she goes, okay, I'll put you together. So I call him up, and this is where his world exploded. I said, hey, I got good news. We're going to be together at the bash. And I says, you can get the banners made up. Hey, Jay, no, he's scared. Yeah, I made plans with other world paranormal and Bumblebee. Now I flipped out. I said, you did what, you piece of shit, right? I said, you low-life fucking scumbag. I said, I've had it now with you. I said, now, I said, you went and you betrayed. Huh?
You just got the thumbs up on your screen again.
I think the spirits in your house are on your side, mate. And just to jump back to that, the story you're just telling now is very similar to what Jax was telling last night.
Yeah.
So as he's doing this, I degraded him for about 45 minutes. I said, I warned you. I said, don't ever cross me. I said, I warned you never to fucking fuck with. I'm getting excited now.
Yeah.
Now the bombs are coming out. And I says, I trusted you. I said, my wife said, you know what, that you are a goofball and that you're harmless. I told her you weren't. I said, and you proved it. And then Elka gets it. Now, when Elka gets in, she's like a little T-Rex with her arms, right? She's going off on him. He gets quiet and he says, I got a phone call. And he hangs up. So now I go back and I'm ripped. So Elka said, you got to call Jax. And I said, I'm so ripped. I don't know if I can talk to her normally. I said, without ripping this guy apart. And that was my first thing. I said, Jax, I said, I'm so freaking ripped. I said, and that's when I said, how do you know this guy? I said, be honest. I said, who is this guy? And then we clicked. And then we're like, oh my God, this guy isn't weird. He is clinically mentally ill. And the first thing that came in, what did I say to you guys? It's like the movie Cape Fear, where he goes, counselor, you know? And I was like, oh my God, he played everybody. Everything he said is a lie. And I said, I could only imagine what he's running around telling people. And now I know why he said, don't talk to this person, don't talk to this person. And then when I said, hey, I talked with Gary and I said, I think we're going to do more shows. Oh, yeah, no, he's having a lot of issues. Him and Jeremy broke up. Things got really deep over there, and they're taking a break, Jay. I don't think you'll be doing anything with them. And and he goes, and I pulled out. He goes, I'm not going to Australia in April. And so he's making it look like you guys went totally bonkers. And now Jax is out there, and it's everybody's problem, but not his. And
there's one common denominator. One common denominator to all of this.
Crazy.
Pineapple, right?
Pineapple.
So now, Pineapple calls up. He won't talk to me. He talks to Elka, and he starts going off on Elka. And I said, hey. I said, nobody backtalks you. I don't want to talk to you. I said, no, you're going to talk to me. No, Elka. And he's pleading for Elka because he knows I'm going to ramp up on this guy, right? So I said, nobody badmouthed you at all. I said, if you give me a second to talk, I said, all we did was compare apples to apples, and you became a And I said, and he goes, I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to you. You owe me an apology. You owe me an apology. I said, I don't owe you shit, fuck boy. Excuse my language, right? So he's like, I swore. Oh my God, Jesus.
Oh, wow.
Gary, I'm sorry.
And you did it in the most epic way possible. So
That's
Hey, go edit that out, Gary.
I can't say fuck boy now. Oh Jesus! All right.
he just did it again.
How about fart boy? Can I say fart boy?
No, fuck boy's great, bro. Fuck boy is
Right.
excellent.
All right. So I said, listen, fart boy, right? I said, and he goes, I'm not talking to you because you owe me an apology. You have to be a man. And I'm like, so Elka's like, she's waving me like, stop it. So she's like, now he's on the phone repeating himself. And he says, you owe me an apology. How dare you go behind there? You have to correct this. And Elka's like, I want to go to bed because it's like 3 hours and he's not taking a break. 3 hours of repeating. So Elka says, what do you want from me? She's trying to de-escalate. What do you want me to do? What do you want? He goes, I want you to publicly go on and say that you have no affiliation with Stranger Minds, with Forsaken Souls and Jaclyn. I want you to do it like this. So now he brings my daughter in, right? And so Elka's like, fine. So Mackenzie does something quick. And she goes, I did it, right? So now everybody sits back down. That's almost like 1 a.m. And I must have fell asleep. Because what I didn't realize is if I did, I would have ripped him. I would have drove to New Jersey after this. He started picking on my daughter. My daughter's just turned 17. He called her a stupid ass. He goes, listen, you stupid ass. He goes, you didn't do what I told you to do. He goes, you must be some kind of, well, I can't say, but
you just did.
What are you effing stupid? That's what he said to her. What are you effing stupid?
Yeah. Jack said it the best. So we'll use what Jack said because I don't know how to say that without.
Well, that's exactly what he actually said. And to tell it, just to fill everybody in, that little interaction on the internet is pretty much what brought all of us together. So him trying to split everybody apart is actually the glue that actually, brought it all together and to realize what was going on.
Together.
Yeah.
And so from 3 o'clock in the morning all the way up to like 9 o'clock that night, Elka's phone was going off every 3 seconds with text messages. He won't talk to me. He won't send me a message because he knows what's going to happen. He avoids me now at all costs. So finally, thank God, somewhere around maybe 1, 2 in the morning, he breaks my heart, guys. He does the ultimate sin. He unfriends me. He broke my heart.
He made it Facebook. He made it Facebook official.
It really hurt me.
He still hasn't done that to me. He still hasn't done that for me. It's not fair.
Because I think he loves you, Jeremy. Yeah.
Probably.
Well, he's the funny.
For his
Here's the funny part.
His agenda, bro.
Now that we're sort of up to date with everything that's been going on, and then other stuff has sort of happened in the meanwhile. But that post leads back to there was another post that went up not long before that, which pretty much, I think it might have even been engineered to cause Jackie and I not to talk to each other. And then he manipulated that through his conversations that he wouldn't let Jack talk to me. And then he was manipulating it to keep everybody at arm's length and things like that. So again, he's trying to conduct the orchestra and keep everybody where he wants them because he doesn't want everybody coming together and realizing what's actually going on. And then when this post that you're talking about now went up, obviously when he put that first post, that post up that we're talking about now, which caused all these issues. Well, it wasn't him that actually put it up. It was he told you guys to do it, and then he put that first little snarky little comment in there. Oh no! And then of course I think Fernando was like, "What's going on?" And then I think John or Jax came in there. What's this all about?
I said, I don't know what this is about, Jay, but I'm a little confused because we just talked a few hours ago.
And then I posted the
and then you put the link. You put the link.
That was you. Okay.
Yeah, and then I said, you know what, Jay, you and your family's gonna know what this monster's about when he tears into y'all. And then I posted the news article, bro.
Yes.
So,
I didn't see anything because Elka, when she got up, she took everything down. She said she felt horrible, but she couldn't get him off the phone until she did this. She says, "This guy's insane." And she said, I have to do. I said, you just created a crap storm. But she said, it's not as bad as what he's doing now. She goes, I can't get any rest. And so she took it down in the morning. And she said, and then she said, I've been on the phone with Jaclyn, and she goes, I made apologies to everybody. And I'm like, what's going on? I said, bring me up to date. And she said, Jay, look at. So she shows me her phone. She goes, he's not stopping. I said, give me the phone. She goes, no. She goes, no. That's what he wants you to do. He wants you to threaten that you're going to take him out, that you're going to do all these things to him, which I'm not. But she goes, he's probably going to record everything. And she goes, then he's going to get his lawyers in there. And she goes, it's awful. So she goes, stay out of it. And so I said, I'm going to stay out of it until he calls my phone. I said, as soon as he calls my phone, it's a game over. He never did. He never even texted me, not once. It was always Elka. And that's where we come back, guys, to where he has an issue with women. He thinks he can control women.
Yep.
And that's another scary thing, if he belittles women. Now, I have another surprise for you guys, right? I had I only talk about people that come in here that wants to share who, you know, what they're doing here, or they want to post. Otherwise, if people say they want to come in and they have like anonymity, I don't talk about who comes in.
Yep.
So this one person, she's very flamboyant in the paranormal field, if you know what I'm saying. She's kind of like the first, and she's kind of cool. She is cool, or he's cool. The first drag queen in paranormal. You guys who know what I'm talking about, right?
Not over here, I don't. Hey?
Yeah.
You know, Dame Edna?
Dame Edna.
Yeah, if you Google, I'll say, I don't think she's gonna mind, but her name was Monique, right? And she was coming in there. They're going to celebrate her birthday here, and she said, "That's fine." So, I was like, "Hey, everything's cool." And he said, "You know who you're?" And he has a problem with gays. He has a problem, and he's homophobic. And when he found out she was coming in, he said, "How can I?" Well, in Australia, what I'm going to say actually means friend, unless it still does a fag. Or no, it means cigarette, right? Fag. You guys still use fag as smoking? That didn't sound right.
Nah, that was like back in the 70s.
Yeah. So we can't use smoking fags because it means something else now. Okay. So anyhow, he had an issue with her, and he kept calling her a fag or all this weird shit. And I'm like, hey, I was like, or not pineapple. I didn't say Bill. Bill. Did I say Bill though? Oh my God. Okay. Pineapple. So pineapple, right? He
poor Gary, man.
Oh no.
It's business. I said,
it's all right. I'm booked to go and see the doctor next week.
Gary's like, bleep. He's marking all that stuff so we can go back. So I said, listen, this person's a nice person. Once you get to know this person, she's a good person. And he goes, you're stooping so low. He goes, that you got to get effing fags in. I'm like, this is wrong. I said, I don't want to. I said, going forward, you will never mention this shit again. I said, these are my friends. And he goes, well, look at your friends. I said, yeah, but you got friends with bumblebees. And I says, and get stupid. I said, and I can't have a friend like this. I said, what the hell's wrong with you? So after that, he never said any more about it. But yeah, anybody who I tried to talk nice to and say, hey, this person's a good person, he bewildered him, or he contacted him. And I don't know what he said after he contacted him, but I'm sure it's not nice, guys. This guy's clinically and mentally ill, or mentally challenged.
Yeah. So
see, what he tends to forget is that we're all grown ass adults here.
Yeah.
We're not children, and he's the dad. You know what I'm saying? He forgets that we have our own phones that everybody pays for. You know what I mean? And that if he's causing tension like that, and I knew it too because he would say that a lot to her. He's like, especially with the like, but this chick, I'm sorry, whatever, my bad.
Bumblebee.
Especially with Bumblebee, I'm like, bro.
I quit.
Especially with Bumblebee, I'm like, bro, like that makes no sense. Chick don't even know us. Da 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 da.
It wasn't you. It was just me.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what? I don't care, right? And then Jackie would ask him, well, what did she say specifically? Tell me. And just, it's nothing important.
Just that you're not the type of investigator I should be hanging around. Have you looked at her content? It's very inappropriate. Yeah. I'm like, first of all, I just started posting content since like February 23, because before that, I didn't, for many reasons, and moreover because I didn't need to, right?
Mm-hmm.
I started posting it more with the show coming out. I've never met her, never run into her in the field, never spoke to her, nothing. And you're telling me she told you, and I quote, he literally said, she looked me in the face and said, only I can tell you who you're allowed to investigate with. If I don't approve them, you can't investigate with them. And as far as she goes, only I can vet her. And until I vet her, you can't investigate with her. Have you even looked at her content? It's not somebody you want to be investigating with.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah, he screwed up and made his own cauldron of shit.
Right. And here, John triggered me on something else. And so did Jay, really, the way he talks to women, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in the process of him, before him losing his utter mind on me, when he thought he still had control and that he thought he was going to still be able to kick John out of the picture, this was literally the final hour before everything erupted. He sends me a message that says, I told you I needed to speak to you in private. You didn't do that, so I need to speak to you. But you're not going to speak to me until you go get some rest. So I want you to go get some rest, and then you can call me. What?
I said,
did you just reply with yes, Daddy?
I'm driving back home, and I'm like, who the fuck does he think he's talking to? Who the fuck does he think he is? Does he think that he's your girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever? This and that. I said, you tell that motherfucker right now. I don't know who you talking to like that. I'm a grown woman, and you don't be talking to me like that. I'll talk to you whenever I want to talk to you. And I said, don't even talk to him no more. I was telling him, block him right then and there, because he's gonna anticipate an apology from you, and I ain't apologizing for shit, and you ain't apologizing for shit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Because
he burned us.
This dude, bro, you know what? I knew he was gonna do this. So I already saw that fire coming, bro. All right. I just had my fucking fire gear on ready. All right. So with that being said, it's like, and then bro, when I hit him up that morning, that last morning when the war like started before he reached out to everybody, I reached out to him and then I was like, bro, I knew you were a snake and a bullshitter from the very start. All he had to say to me was some stupid shit. Oh, well, at least I can go till noon without having a drink, and I pay my way into locations. Dumbass. The 2 times you went to Shawnee, who you think took care of your deposit, bro?
Yeah.
Dumbass.
And,
you know what I'm
then
saying?
hear about Jay.
No, just because I don't say, yo, here's the cash from my pocket, don't mean that I don't take care of it. Okay? Every time she does business with locations, I say, here's her money, I'm transferring it over, and she handles it. Okay, because there's no reason for me to do it or for us both to do it. She can do it. She wants to do it, let her do it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care. So he doesn't even know what he's talking about. Secondly, this dude over here tried to say he went through basic training in the Army and that he got out. Yeah, bro, because, okay, for instance, when we were at a specific location in PA, all right?
We were at his house.
No, we weren't.
First time.
Oh, I don't remember that. I remember it was at another location, not
fucking stolen valor piece of shit.
Right, bro. And I told him, I said, yeah, I went down range and this and that because he was talking about his brother served and this and that.
No way.
I said, oh, word? I said, I did too. I said, where did your brother go? Oh, all over the middle. He went to Iraq. And then I'm like, huh? He said he just came back from Iraq. Now, first of all, if you were in the service, you know that Iraq shit was done for 10 years. All right? Ain't nobody going out there to Iraq like that.
It's all Afghanistan now.
I know.
It's strictly Afghanistan at this point. Iraq did a cleanup crew back in 2010 when I was actually enlisted. 2010 to 2012 was the Iraq thing. There's no more Iraq after that.
Yeah, no.
Okay? It was all strictly Afghanistan. So then he asks me, so then he says that, because he said, oh, his brother. Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, but we've lost your video.
Sorry about that. We just had an issue, technical error. And
okay.
So he says, "Oh yeah, my brother, whatever." And then I said, "Oh, for real? Did you serve?" Because I told him I went downrange and whatnot. And he said, "No, I went through basic. And then the thing is that I hurt my ankle, and I had to get what did he say? He got surgery on it or something? Or
he blew his knee.
He blew his knee. Had to have surgery. He didn't make it.
Oh my god."
Bro, this one thing I cannot.
He didn't make it through. He didn't finish.
Bro, one thing I cannot stand is when you tell somebody you were in the service and they have to be like, "Oh, well, I almost enlisted, but this
Yeah.
and that and the third. I don't want to hear that, bro. That's like, you don't have to try and match up, like to be like, whoa, you were in the service. I almost went to that because that shit don't sound cool to me. You know what I'm saying?
No.
So when he said that, I was like, oh, for real? So apparently, mind you, this boy went to a military disciplinary school is where he went to. That's the kind of military he enlisted in, was the disciplinary schools back in the day where you were acting up and they sent you to those military schools and they set you straight. Okay? That's where he went, and then
thrown out.
and he got thrown out of that. And then secondly, on top of that, this boy bullshitted about what he does for a living. He's talking about, oh, I got properties, right? That's why he gets all this money. Turns out his mammy stipends him up with money, so his mom was paying for everything. Okay?
Yeah.
So all that traveling and everything he's been doing in the last couple of months since May or March or whatever, that's been on mommy's dime. You know what I'm saying?
My dime,
that's not
too.
because,
My dime.
yeah,
I had
and your time. But
because he
mommy's been
couldn't
paying
afford
the
Chinese food.
Yeah,
I had to pay for his Chinese food.
He also has told me numerous times that all the locations he's paid for are in the thousands. But then I find out every time that he didn't do that. Like, he didn't pay. Somehow, some way, he gets away with it.
Yeah. So he's trying to flex. Like, he's got property, he's got money. What's your liquid? Yo, and then he's going to sit there and try to call us scammers, bro. But yet his felony report says that he was a scammer. Okay?
Yeah.
He was a scammer. And then on top of that, he tried to scam us for 5Gs for a table that she explained about in the first episode.
Yeah.
All right? That shit had me livid, bro.
You've got the thumbs up again, dude.
Oh,
Thank
so
you.
John,
Thank you, Spirit. Thank you,
wait,
Spirit.
John, right? Wait, so what he told me was when he found out, he wanted to know what I did in the service. I would tell like 10 different things, right? You know, because I knew he was an asshole. He said that he went to the Honorable Virginia Military Academy, right? And then he said, I almost went into the Marine Corps, but I had a motorcycle accident. And he goes, I blew out my leg, and he goes, I had pins, and he goes, and that stopped me. He goes, I was gonna be this guy. Now, there's no MOS that does this, which you know that, right? Especially in the Special Operations Committee. He said that he was training in the Marines, that his MOS was to go in and rescue downed Navy SEALs.
He's been watching
And I'm
Black
like-
Hawk Down or
I'm like,
something.
really?
What? Down
Yeah.
Navy SEAls?
Yeah, he goes, when Navy SEALs get in trouble, he goes, that's where they would call this intelligent unit like me to come in and rescue them. I said, that's
Yeah,
kind of
Rangers
fucked
and
up because
Delta?
most of the guys I know, when after the SEALs got in trouble, it would either be the Rangers or the Army Special Forces, Green Berets that would come, because I said the Navy SEALs, they don't have that many SEAL teams deployed to a fucking to a carrier unit. I said they usually have one SEAL team. I said it's usually who's ever out there. Oh no. He goes, you got that wrong, Jay. Right? I'm like, oh, okay. I'm playing stupid. Oh, really? So I said, so they're going to dispatch Marines from Oceania all the way to the Middle East to rescue fucked up SEALs? Well, yeah. I'm like, wow, that's pretty badass there. I mean, geez, whatever his name was. So yeah, see, he never served one day in his life.
No.
Seriously, can we just refer to him as?
bro.
Can we refer to him as
Wow.
Kim Jong Un?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
It works. I'll take it.
Yep.
Kim Jong-un.
I think his real name is Some Young Dick.
Name of some young guy.
Oh, anyway.
Some dumb guy.
What?
Name of some young guy.
Yeah, I can't believe he literally said that to you, where he was gonna be rescuing. Like, you don't understand how, like, in the bag reaching, like, for bullshit, man. That's what that is. That's like in the bag. Like, I've never heard. That's like, oh my god, it blows my mind.
Yeah,
when
so
people
he
say
said to
that.
me, yeah. So after that, he's like, well, what did you do? I said, nothing can compare to that. I said, I was a janitor. I just cleaned things up. Oh, really? He goes, oh, no. He goes, what you really telling me? He goes, you went in and you cleaned people up. I'm like, no, I just wiped floors, buddy. That's all. He goes, he goes, you are mysterious. And I'm like, I want to go like this, and you're an asshole. You know? Oh, excuse me. I said it.
Bro, listen,
Please.
if somebody ever presses you, like when you tell somebody about
No, we've lost his audio.
Gary took audio off for a reason.
No.
No, we can't hear you.
John, we've lost your audio.
Jax probably took him.
Oh, there we go. I heard that last little bit. No, gone again.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Oh, there you go. You're back.
Oh, there we go.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, cool. You know, for instance, when we went to Gettysburg, probably like a couple months ago, I spoke to a gentleman and he told me he was in the Army. I said, oh, for real? I served as well. And he said, what was your MOS? Or actually, I asked him, I said, what was your MOS? And he said, I was an 88. Okay. When we refer to our job, we always say the numbers. Okay. We never really, we don't say, oh, I was this and that. You'll either hear somebody say the numbers or they'll say I was infantry. Okay. Which is very common. Okay. And when, you know, that's how a normal interaction with a vet or a military service member would go. Right. And then, so when this guy said, he said I was an 88, I said, oh shit, me too. Except for me, I wasn't driving because 88 is a motor operator. And I wasn't driving trucks. I was on the security team. I was on a security light team. And the transportation heavy team were the guys who drove the trucks. So we protected the heavy guys. Okay. And that's how I explain my job title. Now that, when I tell you that, you're like, that makes fucking sense because it's supplies, and you're convoying and shit like that. Not something like, yeah, bro, I went in there to fucking do counterintelligence on Afghanistan, Aka, Muhammad Jihad. I went in there and I spoke with Al Qaeda themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's how you know he's going
it's called counterintelligence.
In all honesty, if you turn around going and then I went in there doing counterintelligence, well, if you really were doing counterintelligence, you wouldn't be telling them you're doing counterintelligence, or you did it.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's like I said. That's like when I said, yeah, if we were all blowing lines at our event, we'd be screwed because 3 of the 4 of us have high security clearances and get drug tested regularly. So
what drugs do you test?
Probably everything.
It's an 11 panel drug test.
Yeah, so you get 11 drugs each time you get to do it. Yeah.
You felt,
just I no clip through your joke right there, bro.
I know.
Actually, what?
I look, this pineapple seems like the type of guy that goes to McDonald's to get a salad because it seems healthy.
Yo, right?
Wait,
dude, he's one of those McDonald's kids.
Remember when you said that to me, that he told you on our trip he had to have a salad because he had to mentally prepare himself for the entities?
Yeah, he
shit.
I told him to go to the Red, White, and Blue. It's a really nice restaurant down there that's on the corner. And he said, oh, I went to that dive place, but you're right. They had really good food. I had a salad and I had a single chicken tender. I'm like, what kind of idiot buys 1 chicken tender?
3. It's got to be 3.
I gotta get prepared because, oh my God.
Anyway,
everything he says, he's whacked out.
I think you guys need to think about your closing up statements now, because we're going to have to call it soon because we're at over
no, Gary, we're going to talk all day. We're going to rip this guy apart.
Mate,
well, John and
that's
I have
fine.
a location to finish investigating, so we can't talk all day about. I would love to. Believe me, I got lots to say about pineapples in this place.
And I still have to edit the whole bloody thing.
You're going to be editing until next Christmas, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I'm going to need some annual leave from the editing of this one.
I would literally say this.
Pineapple's a tech guy. You can hire him.
I don't even think you can take this one.
For real, on an ending note, if you're an individual that is watching this podcast and you've seen both segments and, you know, you lasted through all this, you have to be very careful with this gentleman. I don't want you to experience this firsthand because it is a very fast forest fire that spreads really quick. The way he moves, he's like a virus. Okay, he moves really quick and he'll do it real quick. Okay, you're not on your toes, you're gonna be screwed. Okay, we have to push him out because what he is he is a genuine scammer, and he found a market that he found a market that he's just like, oh, I can run this by all these people. They seem dumb enough to listen to what I have to say, and if I act the part really good, they're gonna believe me. Okay, and he had some people fooled, but he sure as hell didn't have me fooled. All right?
Yeah, no.
And that's what I will say, and I will end it at that. Okay, this guy, I wouldn't even talk to him because as soon as you engage with him, he's gonna want to know everything you're doing. He's gonna want to know what your secrets are, and then he's gonna take that and then just run somewhere else with it. Not worth it. Nope. This guy needs to get pushed out like ASAP.
I think the best description for this guy
I
is.
agree with what John said, and to add it, I know we had some fun because we're blowing up steam, but yeah, if you encounter this guy, stay away because he is not only is he a professional con man in a sense, but he's also a very dangerous person. If you knew what he did, I mean, he's willing to say and do anything. So if he comes across your path, run.
Yeah.
Stay away.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if Pineapple is watching this, get some mental help. Get some mental help if he's watching this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
Speak to someone.
How about work for a living and just try to build your own thing and not steal it from other people?
Yeah, that's a good guy's.
Yeah.
Literally, this guy is the best description for this guy. He's a one-man zombie apocalypse. If you're not careful and you're in close proximity, you're going to get infected and it's going to basically kill you.
Look,
if you're smart enough to stay clear, you'll survive it.
Can we not contact
And
Dr.
you know
Phil?
what?
He records everything.
This is gonna sound super I don't know, feminist or whatever you want to say. I don't know, because I just don't know how else to say it other than what it is. For women, he targets women. You know what I mean? He targets them, and he will find a female that if they have something that is even remotely close to popular in this industry, he's coming for you. And he's going to try to smooze you, and he's going to try to, talk the talk. And
flex his money.
I don't know how many times he has said to me things like, I want this relationship to flourish. And, I really am opening up to you because I care about you. Ready? He said, and I quote, I'd walk through fire and straight to hell for you and take you back. Literally.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jeremy left.
Right, dude.
No, I have to apologize. I have to apologize for Jeremy. Jeremy's got daddy duties that he has to take care of, so I
gotta get going too. But one last word: if Bumblebee's watching this, you better run because he's got something planned for you, big time, and it's not nice.
You and your man need to bounce real quick.
Hey, you should really give me a call because I got some info for you that I don't think you're aware of, including Pineapple's exact words when he said, Bumblebee and her boyfriend are on the rocky road right now, and I'm only connecting with them because her boyfriend has something I want and has a lot of high connections, so I got to make sure I get that before they split apart. And that is right handing on my kids' lives. That is what he said.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's one person you need to stay clear, and I guess most people now are going to be spending the next 3 months working out who all of these characters we just wrote
a character book.
Yeah, we made a kid's book.
You do realize that the CIA
made a children's book.
You do realize the CIA now we're probably going to be analyzing every aspect of this video to work out what code we're all talking about.
Oh my God! He's going right down to Langley because they're gonna like, who's Bumblebee? Who is our? All right, they're going like, these guys are pretty covert people here.
Who's Pineapple and Swamp Donkey?
Right?
Yeah,
I know, right?
That's it.
We literally wrote a paranormal comic book,
mate. Seriously,
and
right?
Jerky must be a secret location.
When I finally get this thing edited, you guys have to watch it from start to finish because it's going to be entertaining. This one.
I actually watched the one you guys did. As soon as you guys were done with yesterday's, I watched it because I was at work.
Good.
And I was just listening to it from the start. It was awesome. So.
It was so good. That's what I listened to all the way up here on our bajillion-hour drive. It was so good.
I watched it earlier on the big screen as well. It came through good. Now, before we go, because we're going to go in a sec, Jay, we're going to have you on in the next couple of weeks. We're going to do a nice big expose on the Enfield Demon House. And John and Jax, you keep in contact with us, and then as soon as your show is close to going to air, let us know, and we'll do a nice big pre-release episode with you guys.
I love it.
I
want to thank you, Gary. I want to thank you, Gary, for giving us the
voice.
Not even that, the platform to be able to come together as one unit and actually show people what para-unity is to salvage what we've all worked for, not just us in this podcast, but like thousands more like us that have worked so hard and given our literal heart and soul to something, and allow somebody to come in and take that is criminal.
It
so
is.
Thank you for giving us this opportunity. Beyond words.
No, well, thank you guys. Like I said, we'll have you guys on. We'll do a nice big pre-premiere for your show. A nice big episode on that. And we'll keep in contact and we'll do lots more. And we will try and promise not to bring up a single bumblebee or pineapple in that episode. It's going to be all about you guys and where you're going to be taking us on this adventure, because I know I got a lot of comments last night about how excited people are about seeing your show, because I've never heard of anything even done like that. So you've already got
also,
people.
Yeah.
One more thing, if anybody has a cold case or somebody they know that has fallen victim to a cold case, please reach out to us, because we're taking cases for season 2 right now. And truly, it's national, international, doesn't matter. We want to get as far as we can to help people. That sounds good.
Jay, before we, is Jay still there, or is he frozen? Oh, he was frozen for a second.
I'm still here. I'm listening. I'm trying to meditate and keep all the bumblebees out.
Do you want to just let people know where they can get in contact with you if they want to book the Enfield Demon House for an investigation? Where do they go?
Yes, right now on Facebook would be the best way. Would be under the Enfield Demon House.
Cool.
Not the CT one, but the Enfield Demon House, yeah.
And John and Jax, do you want to give some contact details, especially if they do have a cold case they want to get in touch with you about?
Of course. You guys can reach out to us on our email, forsakensouls.prg@gmail.com. It's the best way to contact us. Or you can reach out to Jackie on Facebook at Jaclyn LaRen, LAREN. And then you can find us on TikTok, Forsaken Souls _PRG, as well as YouTube, same spelling. We always post content there. Usually when we go on investigations, doesn't need to be big or whatever. Even if we go somewhere local, we usually run live. So
yeah, and we also have our group itself, the Forsaken Souls Paranormal Research Group, where we have people come on, post their content, share their info, and keep that positivity going. So you can always reach out to me on my Facebook page, and then I'll add you into that as well.
Sounds good. We've got Jeremy back, and I've just realized one thing right at the very end of this episode. I've been severely outnumbered because we have Jeremy, Jay, John, Jax, Gary.
Yeah.
Jay.
Well, wait, what did Fernando say yesterday? Oh God, what did he say? Something about how there were 3 of us. Damn it, I screwed it up. Never mind.
edit that out.
No, that bit stays in. There's a lot more to edit out, but that bit can stay in there. Anyway, guys, Jeremy and I would like to thank you all very much for coming along, and we'll do all this again really soon. So if you guys want to say your goodbyes, we'll jump out on that.
All right, everybody, take care. Stay safe out there.
Yes, grazie for watching, and happy hunting, and stay safe, and please heed our warning.
Yep. Take care, guys. Hopefully we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
See you all, guys. Take it easy.
Bye. Thank you, Gary.
Thank you.